I think career exploration is important to me because I grew up in a community where we were always kind of directed to do the same things, pursue the same things, because a lot of our parents who immigrated here from India have pursued careers like software engineer and things like that. And even though my parents weren't actually telling me, oh, you need to do this, it was kind of the impression I got from my community that this is something that everyone's doing, so you should also do it. I started to realize how open they were to me exploring different things. And they would tell me a lot like, hey, middle school, high school, like this is the time where, you want to take advantage of these opportunities that you're getting from you go to a very privileged school, you have a lot of opportunities, like take those. Don't just go the path that all your friends are going. Figuring out like what makes you excited is the best way to figure out if it could be a viable career option. And something my dad tells me is like, at the end of the day, what you end up doing with your career, like most people it's not gonna make them like jumping for joy excited, but you should at least be a little interested in it. So figuring out what you don't like is equally as important. I agree. The three of us have experienced very similar things of our parents telling us different things, our society telling us different things of how we want to pursue our careers. And we're all very academically motivated. So we all want a good future, but we find that the resources provided to us, unless we do take a lot of our own initiative, but we find that the people who might not be taking as much initiative as us won't have the same opportunities as us, right? And we don't want that. It shouldn't be so hard to try to figure out what you like, what you dislike. So we created a proposal called Career Compass, in which basically the district would have each department create a presentation of how their department, the subject that they're teaching, would be applicable to a career in the future. Students in their teenage years, we're really just trying to figure out who we are in this world. And a lot of the times that doesn't include figuring out our future, because that's such a daunting prospect. So teenagers in general need a bit of structure, need a bit of push, and they're not going to get that outside of what they're required to do. Basically using a day of school in the semester to do a bit of teaching on how their subject would apply to a career in the future, to pique the interest of the students. Students thinking, why might this actually be applicable to my life? Like, why do I care? Why should I care about this? Vitaes is really valuable to students, because how many students are actually interested and believe that they need to have a career path set up by the time they graduate high school? And it was a vast amount. But taking that statistic, I think it was like 79%, taking that statistic and comparing it to how many people actually take initiative in figuring out what they want to do was huge. I think it was like 35% of students who actually took initiative. And so Vitaes, it provides a really easy access into dipping your toes into what career exploration might look like. You guys discuss how your job is in your 9 to 5 or whatever job you do, and what you experience. I think having it be people of color is also really interesting, because that experience is really different than someone who's not a person of color. So it's very cool. I think the videos are the best part, and that's the main part of Vitaes, right? The videos. I think just being able to visualize and listen to someone who has experience in an industry that you possibly might be interested in and then having access to literally, honestly, every career that there could possibly be is really interesting. And then thinking about, oh, how did that person get there? Like, what steps can I take right now in this moment? That's so fascinating to me. It feels like a BuzzFeed quiz, and that's not something that you want to be using for career exploration.